Hey guys, Lasher and back again. Today we are looking at the Vanu Sovereignty. So this is one of the last videos that I'll have for Planetside. After this I just need to do the new conglomerate, specific, and common pool vehicles. I will do a video on those. This video is about the Vaanu Sovereignty weapons and armor, the specific, and then the NC one will be specific and common pool, because I realized that when I did the NC video first I included all the common pool weapons, so I'm going to stick with that theme and do the common pool vehicles in it as well. So start right off, let's run over here, let's get big ol' armor, carry load stuff, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Whoop. I don't want that. I already got one. I want that. And then... that's fine. That's enough. Alright. So what we have here is the Vanu Sovereignty specific pistol. So this is the beamer. In very, very olden days, certain people did refer to this as the flashlight, because it kind of looks like, it lights up like one, and it does about the same amount of damage that you would expect a flashlight to do. This is a very, very weak pistol. Very, very weak pistol. So let's see, Rexo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 9 rounds. Okay, 9 rounds. Now, to be fair, it is pretty quick to fire, if I zoom in a bit. So, it's quick to fire, but it's really weak. The big selling point for all VS weapons really is that it has a standard bolt and an armor-piercing bolt. The sound is a little bit different, and it's purple instead of blue. So, armor piercing, this is regular. As you see, an entire clip is not really doing anything. Let's go armor piercing. Let's crouch for better accuracy as well. Okay, so you can see the difference between that max's armor and this max's armor. I would say armor piercing takes it away about twice as quickly. All the Vanu Sovereignty weapons have that. So, with this kind of alien laser tech stuff, the Vanu have two very good things going for them. One is they're very adaptable. You can shoot at infantry, or you can shoot at armor. Infantry, armor. So you can very quickly switch. If you've got a whole squad of people with a heavier weapon, then you can very easily scare off things like a Reaver or a Mosquito. You can very quickly scare them off. Heavy tanks, no. But buggies and some light aircraft, yes. This right here is the Pulsar. This can actually do some damage. Okay? This kills pretty quickly. And the biggest selling point of this is distance fire. I'm going to zoom in. Watch the cone of fire carefully. Watch the bloom. Okay, it really doesn't begin to bloom for the first 5 or 6 shots. So, it's very accurate. With most guns, you're going to see a little bit of reticule bloom after the first shot. The Vanu, if I tap it like this, then it pretty much will always go in this spot. So it's incredibly accurate. It's because it's a laser that there's hardly any recoil. Okay, now again, I can right click and switch this to an armor piercing bolt, and like I was saying, there's a Mosquito there. Let's do some armor piercing rounds. Okay, so I just did more than half of its health in damage, and I didn't even land all the shots in the clip. So, if you're getting attacked by a Mosquito or a Reaver or something and you are in a squad, if you and a couple squad mates pull this out and swap to armor piercing, you will be able to either kill it or scare it off very, very easily. Okay, it's not going to be hard for you to do. So let's scrap those. Let's place the... now I have the heavy assault and the anti-vehicle. Anti-vehicle is the Lancer. 6-shot clip, which does make it the largest firing clip of a anti-vehicle weapon. The new Conglomerate has the single-shot Phoenix, the Terran Republic has the 5-shot Striker, Vanu Sovereignty has the 6-shot Lancer, and then everyone gets the Common Pool Decimator, which is a disposable 3. So, let's check it out against this Reaver here. So an entire clip almost kills it. And something that you need to look at and be aware of is, let me back way up. I'm gonna back up. Alright, let's go over here. So I'm gonna crouch. I can zoom in quite a bit. So watch the reticule, watch the bloom. It goes out, but it immediately comes back in. Because there is, when you click once, there is a small delay. There is a small charge-up period here before it fires. However, this serves to keep the reticule in the same spot. This is easily the most accurate anti-vehicle weapon in the game. Easily the most accurate. I can snipe with this if I really wanted to against infantry. I don't know why you do it, but you can. Okay? Because this is a sniping weapon. Its cone of fire does not move. And you can see when I crouch, that's about as narrow as it can possibly get. This is already really good. I could just fire up here from the hip and land basically every shot. Okay? But if I crouch, you can see those little cardinal direction lines there come in a little, just that little bit more. It's really good against moving targets because it travels very rapidly, much faster than any of the rockets of any of the other anti-vehicle weapons in the game, and its accuracy is such that I can use this while I move very well. Okay, if a mosquito is dive bombing me, and you just saw a single clip will down a mosquito. If you land every one, you will down it. So, very powerful anti-vehicle weapon. This right here is the Lasher. And this is what really makes the Vanu Sovereignty the Vanu Sovereignty. They're all about alien tech. Look at that. Orbs. Orbs of Lasherness. Okay? This is their iconic weapon, and that's why it's Heavy Assault. Heavy Assault is really what defines each class, each faction, rather. The new Conglomerate Heavy Assault is a triple-barreled shotgun. It really defines the NC being an up-close quarters kind of deal. The Terran Republic has the mini chain gun. 100-shot clip, very rapid to fire, really defines the whole more bullets is more better mentality. This one, the orb with lashing explosion at the end, is the most alien weapon in the game, if you don't count cavern-based tech. So this weapon fires pretty rapidly, and it can kill very quick. Very, very quick. You'll notice if I shoot at that guy and kill him, this guy took damage. That's because when the orb lands, damage is pulsed out. Okay? If I just spray this near this guy, he is taking some small amounts of armor damage. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Now, if you actually land it on a target, it will do more. So, let's crouch and fire some into here. Okay, you can see a lot of people in that field out there just taking shots. So a lot of them are low, and not all those were direct hits. So it's very, very good for that. Right click, I'm in armor piercing mode. I can now fire armor piercing rounds. It's not meant as an anti-vehicle weapon, so it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. But an entire clip against a full armor, full HP max, let's look at it. So you can actually kill a max unit within an entire clip. It fires very rapidly. You can probably get all those shots off. It's not supposed to be used that way, but it has the option to switch to it in a pinch. And as you saw, it did very decent damage. So all of the Vaanu weapons, whether it's a Pulsar, whether it's the Lasher, I'm not even going to count the Beamer because it's a piece of crap, but the two main weapons, the Pulsar and the Lasher, those two weapons can be used in very flexible roles. Vanu Sovereignty is very good because of this. Also, the very last thing that I didn't really point out at the time, but some people probably caught on to, is if I load out all the specific weapons, I took the Lancer off. The Lancer has its own ammo, okay? It has its own little capacitor cell beam things. That's fine. But all the other weapons, Beamer, I've got 509 shots. Pulsar, 509 shots. Lasher, 509 shots. They all use the same ammo type. They all use energy cells. So, a typical kit is going to be very easy for you to manage, and you're going to have a lot of adaptability doing it. Okay? This is probably how I would kit myself out if I was going to go and fight in the field. This is usually how I would kit out. I can repair my armor, I can repair my HP, I can swap out to hack open a door. I've got 2 med kits for a little bit of instant healing if I'm in that firefight and need that clinch moment. And then I've got 2 weapons and loads of ammo. So if I end up being at range the entire fight, that's fine, because all of that ammo can be used in this Pulsar. If I'm in a little bit more close quarters for the entire fight, that's fine. I can use all the ammo into the Lasher. Whereas on the other races, not so much Terran Republic. Terran Republic can boast the same thing. It can use regular 9mm rounds in its Cycler and also use those same 9mm rounds in its MCG. New Conglomerate has the short end of the stick as far as versatility goes, because they need 9mm rounds for their Gauss, which is a very strong medium-range gun. However, they need shotgun shells for the Jackhammer, which is their close-range shotgun powerhouse. Vanu Sovereignty combines it all into a single weapon. Terran Republic kind of does as well, but it's very iconic to the Vanu Sovereignty that it's all alien, it's all laser, and it all kind of uses the same thing. So now what we're going to do, before we get to vehicles, is we're going to clear out our inventory, and we're going to try the max units. So let's grab some ammo for this. So that was the Vanu Specific Standard Assault Beamer, the Vanu Specific Medium Assault Pulsar, the Vanu Heavy Assault Specific Lasher, and the Vanu Anti-Vehicular Specific Lancer. Okay, and that's it. I don't count the knife. Yes, the knife is different. It's called the Force Blade. However, it does the same thing as all other knives. The regular swing damage is the same. Right-click to activate secondary does more damage. Alright, Starfire in the air. This is just the bane of everyone everywhere. Look at this lock-on radius. Right here. I'm nowhere near this mosquito. And yet, this is enough. And there were 2 shots that didn't even land, okay? It only took 6 shots. It didn't even take my entire clip. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I already used 1 earlier, but that's enough. It's dead. 7 shots on a Reaver, 6 shots on a Mossy. And watch the health bar carefully again. You can clearly see it moving in 2 little chunks. I take it back, 5 shots. It's 5 shots to down a mosquito. 6 shots to down a Reaver. Oop. I think I might have... Oh no, I just damaged him a little bit. I thought I killed him on accident. Let me see if I actually give it time to burn out if it remains to be 6. Because that last one was more like 7. Nope, it is 7. Alright, I don't know what it was. The first one might have been damaged a little bit. But the point being that I can just lock on and just do this. And it's dead. I can just look away and reload, it's dead. This, in my opinion, is the most overpowered anti-air weapon in the entire game. Easily. The range on this is absolutely absurd. You can lock on to things almost out of your field of vision entirely. And as you can see, it kills very fast. Okay, if you lock onto something, then these will follow it, and they will follow it very, very far. A lot. You can ask pretty much anyone, and they will. If you ask them what is the most powerful anti-air weapon in the game, they will say it is the Starfire Max of the Vanu Sovereignty. Quasar. This is the anti-infantry, and again, regular, armor piercing. Okay, this can do both. Regular, kills very quick. It's also very accurate. I can do this at relatively medium range, even moving around. I can get a kill pretty easily. Okay, up there on the hill, I can get them with very little trouble. 120 shot clip. I can shoot this all day. Let's try the armor piercing. Long time. Long time. So about 2/3 of a clip. And also keep in mind some shots did miss. So maxes, you can do it, but it's not ideal. You can do it, it's just not ideal. Let's try it on a mosquito. I'm trying to find a mosquito that's relatively close. I don't really want to do a reaver. Those are more heavily armored. I really want to find a mosquito, but I think this is as good as I'm going to get. Yeah, it's as good as I'll get. So let's armor piercing on this mosquito. Let's reset our bloom. Again, about 2/3 of a clip. So you can kill a mosquito in a max with about 2/3 of your clip. It's going to take a long time. Someone else is probably going to kill it while you're busy doing that, or the aircraft will probably fly away. This is not meant to fight armored targets. It's simply there for an adaptability option. You will usually have this on just regular old energy bolts standard. And this is a very powerful anti-infantry weapon. I would say that the new Conglomerate Scat Max is the best. However, if the Terran Republic Dual Cycler is anchored, then it will take the title of the best. Quasar, it's really useful because it fires very rapidly, and it can be used at mid-ish range. Alright, this is the real anti-vehicle. You can kind of see it leave that fog on him for a minute there. He's taking damage from this. Okay, less than a clip. Again, less than a clip. So, you can down aircraft with this if you hit them. Its primary target is maxes, of course. But if you hit aircraft with this, then more power to you. They are going to die. I'm trying to find a tank. Maybe like a lightning tank. There's a buggy. So again, lots of damage going out. You can kill a buggy in a clip. A little less than a clip. Doesn't look like there's any lightning tanks around for me to show this off on, but this is definitely a max unit and light tank destroyer. It's really what this is all about. So, powerful anti-vehicle, I don't really know how I would rank it in terms of comparing to the others. They're all very good. Oh, and the specific ability for this is if I jump... Sorry, it is B. B enables me to do jump jets. I can fly. So, you can jump over walls with these. You can engage your run mode with Q. You can run up to a wall, and then all of a sudden you're running, and then jump, you just soar right on top of it. Okay? Obviously there's no walls here for me to jump over, but you can clear a base wall with this max. You can completely clear it. So Vanu is very good for, I guess, kind of shock assault kind of things. Because of that, they're able to jump over walls. They can jump onto balconies or roofs of towers, whereas other maxes can't do things like that. So, again, it's that whole flexibility factor. There's a lightning tank. Hello. So, just about killed it with one clip. There we go. Just about. if you can get something that low in a single clip, it's probably not going to stick around. If that was a real engagement, it would have been shooting me, yes, but I would have been shooting it. If I had the drop on it, it probably would not have tried to take me. It probably would have tried to run away. Against infantry, I can do it, but again, you can see this makes sure to chip away armor first. So it limits its uses quite severely, because it makes sure that they have no armor before you move on to health. So, not as useful. Yes, you can use it if you really need to, but that's not what it's designed for. This does not have alternate firing modes because it's anti-vehicle specific. Just like the Lancer handheld anti-vehicle does not have alternate firing modes because it is anti-vehicle specific. Okay, so that is it for the weapons and max suits. That took about 20 minutes, that's fine. So now, we're going to cut real quick. I'm going to jump over to the driving range, and we'll take a look at the Vanu vehicles. And here we are. So right over here, let's jump in. We've got, the first is the Aurora. Now, the Aurora can carry 4 more people plus you, and it only has 2 guns. Okay, this is also amphibious. I can go over here. If you're fighting over a bridge, then I can simply get my squad, have them jump in, and then boom, I'm under the water. I can go under the bridge, avoid bombers. I can avoid most anti-vehicle fire this way. This is a very good tactic that some people use if there's a very large bridge fight. And then right as they get up to the end, switch out, drive up, and all of a sudden you've just flanked their defenses at this end. 99% of the time this will be mined. Right here, this end of the bridge is going to have enemy mines. If you drive over them, you will die. 99% of the time this will be true. However, you can go off to the side instead of going over the bridge. You can kind of go off to the side in the tree line and have your squad get out, and all of a sudden you're firing on them from their own side, and that'll give the people over here cover to move up. And also, of course, you've got the people that are in the guns on the Aurora. And these guns are very powerful. Let's hop out and show them off. Let's run around this side. Here we go. So this gun right here has a single shot mode. You can see this has an arcing fire. And it also has a salvo mode, which is 6 shots. This does a lot of damage. This is a very powerful weapon. If you can get the hang of the arc, then you can really lay waste to infantry very easily, and light vehicles really easily with this too. Even the Lightning, which is a light one-man tank, you can chip that down very quickly by using the Aurora. So let's run back up here, and let's get the next one out. Side note, if you are standing here and someone pulls a vehicle, you instantly die. Just in case that didn't really look obvious to you with the caution lines. That will kill you. Thankfully, I don't need to worry about that because there's no one else here. Leviathan is the next variant. This is the larger version of ground transport, and this is specifically for very large squads. This is a base crasher. Some people call this a Battlebus. And you can see the vehicle capacitor down there at the bottom. When that builds up, I can hit B to release an EMP burst charge all around me. So you could use this for a bridge too. Let's say my whole squad loads in. We're driving across. I'm going to use the horn to give them a little shock and awe. This is the only vehicle that has a horn, to my knowledge, by the way, so I abuse it as much as I can. I'm driving, my squad's getting ready to bail out, and then all of a sudden, clear the mines with an EMP burst. Squad jumps out, they're shooting, you're still driving, running people over. It's really good. I mean, look at that. I love this vehicle, I really do. So let's see. Gun right here. All of them have this, okay? They all have this sort of tank shell cannon. All of the variants have this gun. All of the variants have this side ball turret. It is always a little machine gun like this. And this specific turret seat will enhance the range of dark light. If you have the dark light implant on that lets you see infiltrated units, you can turn it on while you're in there, and this will give you additional range on it, which is pretty cool. The very last one here, this is the specific one. This is a very powerful gun, mostly used for anti-infantry. However, you can really damage vehicles with this as well. As you can see right there, there's not nearly the kind of arc that you saw on the Aurora. You can see these shots all going very straight towards the crosshair in the distance. There's really no arc to this. It's going to land in that area. It's going to land in the area. Alright. And then, yeah, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry. You got 4 on the other side, so that makes 8 infantry units. And then in this very rear thing right here, 1, 2, those are for max armor suits. This is one of 2 vehicle types in the game that can transport a max suit. This is the only ground variant that can do it. All of these ground Battlebus tanks can transport maxes, and also there is a Galaxy dropship, which can also use 2 maxes as well. However, this is a very good way to transport your maxes in safety over great distances. So we're going to drive all the way back, cross the bridge. Not going to walk, because that takes forever. Got a couple more to show you. We've got a buggy, and we've got the tank. And then we also have the 2 BFR variants out of that separate terminal. So 4 more to go. Let's jump down. Let's turn on Surge for a little bit of quicker running. There we go. Okay, so we did the Aurora. We did the Leviathan. Right here, this is the Mag Rider. This is the heavy tank of the Vanu Sovereignty. So, zoom. Well, I'll stay zoomed in. So I'm going to come down here, slow down. So first thing you notice is that I have access to a gun. I can shoot. I can aim very high. Okay? It's very accurate and it's very straight. This is primarily for infantry. However, if you keep this barrage up on a tank, it will do quite a bit of damage as well. Next thing is I can strafe, right? And I can strafe left. This is the only heavy tank that can strafe, and that is because it is a hover tank. You remember how the Aurora is amphibious? So is this. Sweep under the bridge the same way that the troop transport did, and then you get all the way to the end, sweep out to the side, boom, you just flanked a bridge in a heavy tank. Okay, and your gunner is just going crazy the whole while. So the Vanu Sovereignty, again, this is really just showing off their flexibility. They can just drive over the water, hardly any loss in speed. Okay, you see I'm going 45 kilometers per hour down there. When I get on land, I think I'll go about 10 more, about 54 or so. Let's see. Alright, so I'll go up 2, so about 64, 65. So, you don't lose much speed going over the water. And you can also go sideways and drive over your own things. This can actually be driven over other vehicles. I have done it before. It's really hilarious looking. So, anyway, there is the driver. Gunner is in here. And you have access to this turret. You can aim up very high. You've got the full 360, as you would imagine. You can zoom. Well, I can zoom because I have enhanced targeting. You cannot normally zoom. That is the gun. So, let's see the fire rate. Pretty slow. Okay, pretty slow. However, again, watch the cone of fire. It blooms out after you fire, sure, but it's back in as soon as you're done. And this is a laser weapon. You see way up there, I can shoot the top of that hill. I can shoot that tree. Okay? This is a straight shot sniping weapon. If you hit a tank with... You can hit tanks with this at extreme range. And if you hit an infantry with this, you can 2 or 3 shot them with this gun. So, Mag Rider is really good for distance engagements because you don't really need to use this gun. A lot of people refer to this as the penis gun. But you don't really need to use this. You can just strafe back and forth, dodging tank shells from across the bridge, and your gunner's just sniping away at them. The travel time is very quick, again, because it is a laser. It's not a rocket, it's not a tank shell. So its in-flight time is quick, and it has no drop. There's no ballistic projectile stuff to it. It's just a straight-on line. So incredibly, incredibly accurate. Very useful because of that. Thresher, this is the last specific vehicle from the terminal. So, like the Mag Rider, this is a vehicle with hovering capabilities. It is very fast. I can go over water, under bridges, etc., like the others. Come out on this side, and then just take off like a rocket. You're just gone. Okay, you can see I'm going almost like 85, 90 kilometers per hour. This vehicle is insanely fast. Its turning isn't great, but it makes up for that with speed. You just coast over bumps and everything. It's very fast. It can go over a lot of different types of terrain, and the gun on it, which is what we're about to look at over here, is very powerful as well. The gun is very good. Mostly against infantry. However, you can hit light vehicles with it. There you go. Now, as you can see, these are firing straight. They are not dropping. The Aurora is the only one of these ball-type things that is going to drop. This is the same gun that is on the Leviathan, the heavy Battlebus. This is the same gun. Okay? Same gun on the Leviathan, it fires straight, just like it. So let's hop out. And then, last two, we have the BFRs. So, I'm not going to jump in each one. I'm only going to use the Aaphelion. The Eclipse just does not... The Aaphelion has a driver and then a secondary gunner. Aaphelion has just the driver, no gunner, however you can fly. You've got those jump jets to jump really high. So I'm just going to get into the Aaphelion. And then I'm going to get over here towards the terminal, so that I can switch out weapons a little easier. Right now I believe I have the anti-vehicle loadout on. Oh no, I've got the anti-infantry mortars. So right here, let's see. The driver cannons are anti-vehicle. Not very impressive fire rate, however, they're pretty straight on. They're pretty straight on and their travel time is very quick. So, they make very good anti-vehicle weapons, again, at range. Because there's no drop, it has very fast travel time. That makes it very, very effective. Right here, I've got the mortar. Now, this is really anti-infantry. You can see one shot leaves this kind of fire on the ground. You see this kind of puffing up. Okay? So, actually damage yourself a little bit with it. However, the shield on this is so powerful, and this is just a little anti-infantry flame. It's not damaging the BFR at all. You see the damage indicator, but nothing's really happening. So, the biggest thing why this mortar is so good is that if someone is running towards you, say an infantry unit with rockets is trying to get right under you to just blow you up. You can tell your driver to either walk backward or just run forward. You can say, hey, just run away, and then you just start doing this. And then as you're running forward, those are spreading in a trail, and if he wants to try and stay under you, then he's going to be walking through that, and he's going to take damage, and he's going to die. So that's a defensive purpose to it. However, it is an offensive anti-infantry weapon, and it's very good at what it does. Its range is huge. So we'll go over here, and we've got two more. We've got the anti-vehicle and the anti-air pilot loadouts. G to rearm. Clear all. There we go. So, Armor Siphon and NTU Siphon are common pool. I went over those in the NC video, and I'm pretty sure I told you how worthless they are. So, we're going to get the Starfire. This is the same kind of thing that we're going to get this as the gunner weapon too. So, these Starfires are the same thing that the Max has. Okay, same weapons that the Max unit has. It has the same lock-on, the same distance. However, this is a 20-shot clip and hits even harder. So you saw how effective the Starfire Max unit was. This is even more so. Now the second gunner weapon that we have here is called the Immolation Turret. Now this is a straight shot, anti-vehicle. Has a charge up time. However, like the Lancer, because of its charge up, it does not have any reticule bloom. Reticule bloom. If you watch the reticle, bloom out, bloom out, bloom out. However, it always returns to the same spot. Again, making this very accurate. You should be seeing a theme here. Vaanu Weapons are accurate. Very much so. Many of their vehicles, the Mag Rider tank gunner, this gunner, they're sniping weapons, basically. There's no other way to describe it. They are sniping weapons. And they're very powerful because of it. If you whittle down an opposing armor column before they get in range, you're dodging their ballistic shell projectiles, and they can't really dodge you, because you have these straight shot, quick travel time weapons. That's going to give you the upper hand. You can kill them before they get anywhere near you. Okay? So, this very last one here, not nearly as many people use these, however, it's definitely the coolest. Okay? It's a laser. You can see I'm still hitting the road way out there. So that's very good range. Next thing to note, look at the reticule bloom. It's completely non-existent. Completely non-existent. This is one of the best anti-infantry killers in the game, because all you need to do is just look at someone and know that you will maintain this perfect accuracy, and just follow them as they're running. Just follow them, and then all of a sudden they're dead. It has a very large clip. It's incredibly effective against infantry. Not so much air and armor, but you can use it in a pinch if you really need to. However, it makes up for this by not having any sort of splash radius. As you see, it's a direct line, point A to point B. I mean, it's a laser. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. So, you have no AoE, but you make up for that by having a guaranteed hit on something if you can just hold this on there. Okay? These are just completely and totally straight. You can see I'm hitting that cliff all the way over there. I'm hitting that tree. So the range on this is very long. Damage out there is not as high as it is in here, I believe. Closer is better. But point is, you can reach it if you really need to. If there's a sniper there, not anymore. Sniper there, not anymore. You can just hold this on them and they will die. Incredibly, incredibly powerful. So, that's it as far as the Vaanu weaponry. As far as the Vaanu weaponry, max suits, and armor. that you find in here. I'm not going to go all the way over to the air terminal like I did before, because there is no faction-specific air units in Planetside 1. In Planetside 2, that is already confirmed to have been changed. There will be faction-specific air in Planetside 2, however in Planetside 1 they're all the same, so there's no reason to go all the way over there. I will in my new conglomerate video for Common Pool, which is probably going to be very long because I would have to go through all the air vehicles and all the Common Pool vehicles here, so it will be quite lengthy. But yeah, so thing to carry away from Vaanu weaponry is that it's very versatile and it's very accurate. So that's it. This has been Legendary Narwhal, and I'll see you guys next time.